osteoporosis. Welcome, friends and family, acolytes of all. Today, we're going to be talking about how to craft a wand, a real wand. And I'll even show you how to inlay some crystals in there, talk about the uses of a wand, and a couple different types that you might find. And yeah, and I'll give some reasons for why I do things how I do it. And it doesn't mean it's the end all for what you should do to your wand, but just some helpful tips that I've noticed for my own. Alright, so I'm going to teach you how to turn one of these simple pieces of wood, a stick, and I'll get into how I harvest and how I size and stuff in a little bit. How you turn a stick into one of these, okay? And since these are out, I'm going to talk about different types of wands. So first, this is a bone knife with some type of wood and leather hilt. My uncle made this, my great uncle. I have many uncles. So in many practices, there's ceremonial knives called athams. I believe I'm saying that correctly. And they're used as a wand. They do have some kind of specific attributes. You know, I would use this to take a curse off myself or to dispel something. And how I do that would be with my incantation. I just, cut the spell off and heal it. So that's one type of wand. It's used in a lot of Celtic traditions. Many traditions actually use knives. I like wood wands, personally. I love nature and stuff. So moving on. Before I talk about these, I'd also like to say that there's feather wands. You can make one of those. They're really good for things like smudging and healing. So if you're smudging someone and you have a fanned wand of feathers, so let's say you have like 5 or 6 hawk feathers or eagle feathers even, would be even more powerful. But 5 or 6 feathers, enough for your hand or like this. And it creates like more of waves or gusts of energy, and it's really good for healing. Then we come down to what I would call a standard wood wand, and many wands don't have crystals, but I like to put crystals in mine. So first thing first, I'll show you my personal wand that I use most often, and some of the design that went into it. So yeah, I'll kind of do 2 things at once. When harvesting a stick, usually I get them bigger than this. I've already sized this one. But lots of times I'll start off with a stick double the size, and I slowly, I feel the stick in different places, and I determine which way the energy is going. Usually it's the same direction that the wood has grown, so you'll find the fatter part of the stick and the skinnier part of the stick, and that's generally the direction that the energy wants to go. I see, you can notice that all of my wands that I make generally have a little bit of a bend to a big bend. And many ceremonial knives, you'll see have like a little wave in them, and that helps the vibration of the energy. So it's a similar concept with the curved wand. It helps with the transmission of energy. And before I go on, there's some interesting things about why I put a crystal in the base and not the tip. Or if I do, I put one in the tip. I like to add one to the base as well, and I'll get into that. And this is my son's wand, so the crystal in the base fell out. So I call this a clogged wand, a wand that has been clogged with its energy. And I'll talk about crystal placement and why I call this a clogged wand. So first, back to my baby, my prized gem of a wand. I love this. It's black oak. I just really vibe with this oak grove that I found. And I'll get into harvesting before I talk about crystal placement. When you're looking for a wand, please, please, please do not cut the tree. Do not take a living branch to turn it into your wand. That is a selfish human maneuver, and you should stay away from that. All of these wands have been found off of wood on the ground or on a part of the tree. If you are going to take it directly off a tree, find the branches that are already dead. That way you're helping the tree and you're not hurting the tree. And if you really, really, really want a fresh piece of wood, for the love of anything that you find holy or good, don't take too much and ask the tree. Connect with the tree, say, show me the branch that you want me to take, and lead me to it. Close your eyes, go walking around, and when you feel that branch, only take as much as you need. And I'll get into proper harvesting methods in a whole nother video, and I'll go out harvesting different things and show you how to properly harvest things like sage or whatever it is, so that you're not killing or damaging the plant. That's the last thing that you want to do, is have your wand be cursed from the plant dying, So now I'll get into some crystal placement. So here you can see I have an amethyst. Let's see if I can get onto that. So I have an amethyst base. I love amethyst. It really connects with me. It allows for a nice connection through the subconscious. So as my will changes, for a long time I would actually carry this with me. Sometimes I still do if I want to, because I'm not afraid to use magic like Harry Potter, and I do arcane spell casting. So that means directed energy with intention, similar to what Harry Potter kind of stuff is. And so the crystal. Why is it in the base and not the tip? Crystal in the base. Just look at the placement. It's directly in my palm. I can charge it, and the wand becomes an extension of the charged crystal, which empowers and amplifies my magic even more. So compared to, let's say, I'll go over that again. This is like a battery pack, okay? It's like a battery pack, and that battery pack is charging the wand. It's here. It's holding magical energy, and it's not just a battery pack. I don't put energy in there and then use it. I could, but in a similar kind of way, the wand helps direct the energy that the crystal is helping to produce. Compared to this wand, that has a selenite or citrine tip, okay, and it had I believe it had an amethyst bottom. It's somewhere around. I have so many crystals, and I'll show you how I add crystals in there. I don't think I'm going to add crystal into this new one because I don't have my proper knife. I left it in my car, and things are, it's raining. I don't want to go out there. So back to this. Now that I'm holding the stick and I'm trying to send my energy through the stick into the crystal to charge the crystal to display the energy. To me, it's completely backwards. Why would I put so much effort into directing through a stick that doesn't, it does have good properties to, and depending on the wood, has better properties to direct energy. But why would I it takes more magic to use a wand with a crystal tip than at the base. Because this wand has now become an extension of this crystal. The crystal has now become an extension of the stick. So I have to deliver more energy through the stick into the crystal and out of the crystal than I would directly into the crystal and out the stick. And people might say other things, but this is what I've noticed with my own experience over many years of doing this, is that crystal in the base is better. I used to put them in the top because I felt like, yeah, that's where the crystal should go, that makes sense, crystal, but to me, the base is better. Times I do put crystals in the tip is when I have one also in the bottom. You see? That's another selenite or citrine, and that's citrine. So, what makes the difference in between a wand with a crystal in the tip and the base, and one just in the base or one in the top, is now the same effect, like the stick is an extension of the crystal, and that crystal is an extension of the crystal, kind of, if that makes sense. So it's almost like it's making, well, it is making a circuit. If, let's say, like, this is the battery pack, the wand is, or the stick is a conduit that connects the tip crystal. So now it's created a whole aura, a whole energy field around itself, so the whole thing acts together as one. So it really kind of does amplify having them both. I haven't seen too much of a difference from just the base and the base and tip. It does move a little smoother, but I also think that's because it's a willow. The willows are known to have super, vibrant, thin energy. I believe it's a willow. And oaks have a thick, kind of sturdy, almost like rock hard flow, like it's just thick, and then this is very airy, very airy. So I kind of like this one more, honestly, because I like that thick energy. I really do appreciate the oak, and I feel just connected as a druid to oak trees. So that is the basis of why I put crystals in the base, or in the base and tip, and I don't like to have a clogged wand where I'm trying to charge the crystal at the end. So moving on, I'm just going to slide on over. Some basic tools. You can use scissors to whittle, and I'll show you how I decide which end is the end to use. But I definitely do suggest using an actual knife. I don't want to use a kitchen knife, and my whittling knife is in the car, and I'm not going out there right now. So first, you'll also need sandpaper, and I'll show you why in a little bit. Well, obviously it's to make it smooth and whatnot. But first, when I'm making a new wand, first things first is I know what wood I want. I believe this is oak as well. And then I hold it in my hand both ways. I can already tell this is the proper direction that the energy wants to flow. But just to make sure, I'll hold it this way, and I feel the energy coming back into my hand. You can also kind of see, right? It kind of looks like I'm holding it the wrong way already. So this feels like the proper way to go. So when I start to shape, the proper wand length should be from the crease in your elbow. You can't see because it's black, but the crease in your elbow to the tip of your finger, or somewhere around there. Anything beyond that, to me, is a staff, is a stave, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and people have their own ideas about that, but I see a bunch of super long wands, but really they're just super thin staves. So here we go. I'll just give you a little bit of, I'm gonna whittle without the camera on, and then I'll show you what I come up with. But first, I find the energy, and around this knot is where I'm gonna start whittling. That way. I'm actually gonna start at the base, or at the tip, whittling this way. So you wanna start here, whittle, 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 and then eventually it'll be all about the same size once it gets to here. I don't like to whittle the end, and oftentimes I'll keep bark. You'll notice here, I kept bark, I kept bark, I kept bark. So I'll probably not whittle past this point. From here down will stay exactly how it is. From here up, this will be taken off or shaped, and you'll see that it creates a lighter color as well. So I'll see you in just a second. Okay, so you could see that I'm still in the middle of whittling, but I wanted to show you something that I do first, well, before it escapes my mind. You see how I did one long straight line? That's not all one stroke. It's a bunch of little ones, but I take a line to where I want it to end, where I begin my grip, or my grip ends, okay? And that kind of gives me a reminder or a placer of where I want to be. And you see how it's still super funky? I'll show you how to get rid of that funk in a little bit too, okay? Okay. Alright, here you can see that, let's see if I can focus in. It's basically whittled down. I'm just trying to get that upper layer off. It's still basically the same amount of thickness. You can do whatever you want. I like this weird looking thing at the end, so I think I'm gonna keep it there. I like it. So now I'm just gonna sand it down with that. Oh, don't use scissors. I had to get a steak knife and do the rest of this because scissors suck. Don't use them. But yeah, so I'm just gonna sand that down really quick, and I'll show you what it looks like after. Yeah, Calcifer's here too. Alright, so this is literally after about 20 seconds of sanding. Just rubbing it back and forth, and you can see that it's already starting to take a little bit better shape. So let's see what it looks like in another couple seconds. Alright, so the shaping of this wand, is done, I think. I still have this little bit on the top. I kind of shaved it down a little bit so it's not too crazy looking, but I like how it looks, so I'm going to keep it there. It has some weird jagged teeth and stuff. I probably won't ever use this wand, and I'll give it away to someone who I know or don't know yet. And, you know, when the time comes, I'll know. But yeah, I probably won't add a crystal in it now, but I'll explain how I do so. So, I don't have a Dremel or anything like that, or a drill, but very carefully, with the tip of my knife, I put it in the center. Let's see if I can do something really quick. So, hopefully you can see this. I'll put it in the center, and just go like this. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I'll just go like this, and then I'll take it out, I'll look at it, see how that hole is starting to form. I'll take it out, I'll look at it, I'll put it back in, I'll twist, and then eventually that hole right there becomes a perfect little spot for a crystal. It's really not hard to do. Okay, so if you liked that video, a little look at where my altar is supposed to be, but I have some Christian family coming over and I can't have it. If you like this video, please subscribe and like and show me some support, and feel free to comment with whatever you want to see. I check these comments all the time, so boom. See you later, babies.